For the past 9 months, I've been experiencing the rarest type of bipolar disorder cycle. If you search it, it's called an ultradian cycle. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's ultradian, an ultradian cycle, and it's the rarest type of bipolar cycle because you're cycling so rapidly. Technically, it's ultra rapid cycling. You're going through mania, depression, and remission over the course of a day. And I have bipolar type 2, so I don't experience mania as severe as someone with bipolar disorder type 1 would experience mania. I don't know how many firsthand testimonies there are of having the rarest type of bipolar disorder cycle, but I know I'm going through it, so I thought I'd make a video on it just so you guys can learn what it's like. And if you have bipolar type 2, I think it's more common for us to fall into this type of cycle than it is for someone with bipolar type 1 because I know their mania operates differently. I've had manic cycles that have lasted probably around a year before, and I've had depressive cycles around the same. And usually, when I fall into a type of kind of relief from both of those called remission, that only lasts for 1 to 2 weeks in between. So I'm always in a cycle no matter what, unless I'm in remission. I live for when I'm in remission because it's just so peaceful. But I'm in this ultradian cycle right now. I'm ultra rapid cycling. And it's been really difficult, but it has also taught me so much about my disorder because I'm experiencing so much of it in such a short period of time. My average week looks like waking up manic on a Monday, staying manic for that Monday, staying manic for that Tuesday, taking medication. Like I take my medication during the day, but I'm aware that my cycle hasn't shifted. I'm aware that I need my medication. I feel it more when I'm in those points of in between taking my pills and the medication starts to wear off a little bit. I'm aware of how manic I still am in between those moments. And then come Wednesday afternoon, all of a sudden I'll feel like I just want to go to sleep. And I'll feel this extreme peace wash over me, and I'll know that I am in a slice of remission. I say a slice because it's literally only maybe half an hour of time. Sometimes it's been 10 to 20 minutes where I'll just feel this peace. And then all of a sudden, I'll feel whatever's coming next. So if I'm going back into a different manic cycle, another short manic cycle, I'll start feeling anxious, a little less at peace, and I'll be like, okay, I have another manic cycle's coming on. Or I'll start to feel depressed and I'll start to feel a little hopeless, or I'll just feel this apathy for whatever I'm doing. Like I just don't care anymore. I just want to isolate. I just feel this numbness come on. And that for me is a sign of depression. Usually when I'm in a depressive cycle within this ultradian, ultra rapid cycling, it lasts for 1 to 3 hours. It usually doesn't last long, but one night, I remember I was in a depressive cycle the whole night because I slept really well. If you're like me and you have bipolar disorder, you know that it's really hard to sleep when you're manic, but it's probably too easy to sleep when you're depressed. And I remember just sleeping the whole night so soundly and so peacefully, and even just waking up in the middle of the night and being able to fall right back to sleep, which is something I can't normally do when I'm manic. So I've been going through this ultra rapid cycling. It's the middle of September 2023, and I've been going through it since the end of December 2022. I'm coming up on a year of being in this ultra rapid cycling cycle. It is its own cycle, and I know one day I'll just fall back into a depressive cycle or a manic cycle, or maybe I'll have a period of remission in between the next big cycle. But I know for now, this is its own cycle. It will end. I've also learned from doing a lot of research that there are certain causes that spin someone into an ultra rapid cycle. And for me, last time I was manic, I went through a period for 8 months where I just didn't sleep. I didn't sleep from February till early October of that same year. I slept once every 3 or 4 nights. When I did sleep, I was getting a couple of hours of sleep right at the very end of the night. And I'd have a little bit of energy to start my day the next day. And then I'd be kind of the Walking Dead for literally the next few days. I almost fell asleep while driving quite a few times because I was so tired. It was a really, really traumatic time for me. Even now, I still struggle with, oh, am I going to be able to sleep? Am I going to have enough hours to sleep? If I stay up this late and I have to get up early for work in the morning, I can't sleep. And so I almost freak out. That's not good, obviously, but it was a very traumatic period of my life. My body started eating up on itself, and I lost, I don't know how many pounds of muscle, but the second I started sleeping again, I gained a bunch of muscle, and I could tell it was muscle. And it was just a very traumatic time for both my body, my brain, everything going on. I was physically incapable of doing anything. And I was also mentally just drained as well. I really couldn't focus. I couldn't handle conversations. That is what I believe caused this ultra rapid cycling, this ultradian cycle. But yeah, my experience being in the cycle has been pretty rough mentally because most nights I'm still manic and I'm still struggling with sleep. But I'll never know when I'll be more manic or less manic. So I kind of proactively take enough medication to take care of the manic cycle that I'm in. And I take a different pill, a different antipsychotic as needed. And I take more or less of that depending on how manic I am. So it's hard because if middle of the day goes by and I know I have to take my pill, I'll take it, and nighttime rolls around and I don't know if I'm going to be in a different manic cycle or the same manic cycle I was in earlier in the day. So I don't know if I've taken enough medication to compensate for that extra mania. I don't know if have taken too much medication, I'll start feeling a little bit more depressed. It's this roller coaster. It really is a psychological roller coaster. But I think the hardest part for me in this is having those moments of depression in the middle of mania, because I'll have like this really good elevated mood, even though I'm medicated. It's like a more even mood right in the middle of the day. And then all of a sudden I'll hit this slump where like I feel like I could go to bed. I feel like I'm going to start crying. I like have actually started crying a few times at work because the depression just comes on and hits me so suddenly. Because of it, it's just been really, really difficult. I do suggest being proactive with your medication on this because if I didn't have the opportunity to take my additional antipsychotic as needed, I would probably be having a lot harder time sleeping, a lot harder time managing this. So it's important, I think, to work with your doctor and you're going through this type of cycle that you have some flexibility within taking your medication, with taking the correct dosages, and just figuring out what works best for you while you're on it. I think that is the best thing you can do while you're on this type of cycle because you're not going to be able to compensate for mania if you're not taking more of your medication, and you're not going to want to take as much if you have a day where you're feeling depressed. To get through this cycle, I also recommend prioritizing sleep. So make sure you are taking enough medication, you're doing the right things that your body needs for sleep, you're taking melatonin, you're turning off your electronics before bed. I know for me, I always sleep better when I take time at the end of the day to like turn off my phone. I usually pray. That's my time of prayer and reading the Bible or reading a book or whatever I'm doing, just without any kind of blue light or electronics in front of my face. What's worked out best about praying specifically, so it gives me a way to kind of think and allow the mania in my head to kind of process itself. If my medication is still kicking in, because I've learned that it takes hours and hours for it to reach the effect I need it to reach for sleep. If I still need that, praying kind of helps me cycle through and let those thoughts be controlled and at peace. When I'm praying, I usually feel very at peace because I'm giving my worries to God. I'm relieving my stress for the day. I'm praying for whoever I want to pray for, praying for myself, praying for this world, whatever I need to pray for. And that just helps my thoughts wind down for the night. I really is one of the best things I've learned that helps me sleep. I hope this video helps you learn a little bit more about ultradian cycling, ultra rapid cycling, and bipolar disorder. If you've had experience in this type of cycle, please let me know in the comments and please subscribe. I talk a lot about faith and mental health on this page. I try to be really transparent about my disorder because I think there's a lot of different parts of it that we don't talk about. People who are actually experiencing the mental illness, I don't think they talk about it enough, especially online. So if you're interested in that, please subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.